Hey everyone, sorry for the shitty quality, but I felt really compelled to make this video right now because earlier tonight I watched a debate on Polypop with the Amazing Atheist, who is how I got to find it and watch it because I'm a fan of his. And he was debating a guy with the YouTube channel called How the World Works, and his name is Lee Doran. And they were getting into the debate, and they talked about the environment and the death penalty and economics. And I just thought Lee Doran was really interesting. I didn't find his arguments completely compelling. I did think, however, that he made some valid points and definitely was intelligent. I could tell he was a very intelligent guy, and he knows what he's talking about. And so I was like, I'm going to research him and find out a little bit more. So I went to his YouTube channel and I watched a couple of his videos. And I also went to his website and read his biography and stuff. And from watching more of his videos on his own channel, I found myself, I guess, just taken aback by his level of intelligence and stuff. When I, run into intelligent conservatives, which is few and far between, I just want to point that out. I almost don't know how to handle it because they make good points, they have good arguments, they have research to back up what they're saying, and yet it doesn't align with the research and the facts and the knowledge base that I have personally, which is probably cognitive dissonance on my part. But I think to myself, what is the reality here? Is my understanding of the world and the facts and all of this, is that the right understanding, or is what he's saying and his facts and his knowledge the right understanding? Who is more right in their approach? And I'm not sure there's an answer, because I was watching one of his videos, and it was kind of a rebuttal or a response to a video created by someone, and it was on MoveOn.org, which I actually volunteer for. And basically it was saying, which is a really common notion among liberals, that the middle class is shrinking and the lower class is getting significantly larger, and the people in the top are making a lot more money and gaining more profit than in the past. And so that's kind of what the video from MoveOn was talking about. And he was saying that that wasn't true, and he had all kinds of facts and references that I checked out. And according to one of the graphs, in terms of real income earned, now I'm not sure what the multiple is and the factor for doing real income versus the income that's actually made. I don't know if inflation's controlled. I don't know how they came up with the number. But basically the line, wait, that's the wrong way. It went up, meaning that real income has increased. And he also had some facts and statistics that said that the top 1% was actually making less money than they did back in the 1990s, and people in the lower income brackets are making more than in the 1990s. So different, and the thing is they were legitimate sources. But I've seen many facts and statistics on this, and many different graphs and charts and examples and research. I've seen all of that stuff too, but in the opposite direction, that have been saying middle class is getting smaller instead of larger, that the top 1% is making more money and the people in the bottom are losing income, stuff like that. I've seen many graphs and many statistics, many just throughout time. And so then my question, I guess, to myself is, who's right? I mean, we both can't be right, and I don't remember the exact statistics, but just throughout time I've seen many. And so it's like both of these different graphs and stuff can't be right, one saying one thing and one saying another. Or are they both right in what they're saying because the different factors that are controlled are different, and the way the information is presented is biased and coercive, so that they're really saying the same thing but in different ways, but it's made to look different than it actually is. It's presented in a deceptive manner. I don't know. And I'm just getting frustrated, I think, because I'm really just trying to understand, it's like, am I been wrong in, all of my research and, exploration and all of that? Is all of this been wrong? Am I wrong? But yet it doesn't make sense to me with all of the knowledge and stuff, and, advocating and saying the upper class is not taking advantage and being elites. I just don't see that. And he's a very conservative guy on economic issues, and I just see it, and the way he's presenting it and the facts and stuff, it makes sense. If I'm looking at this video and I'm viewing this video, it makes sense to me. The information, it makes sense, and he's very, very confident, and he's very smart, and he's very, very good at what he's doing. I guess my question is just like, who's right? Am I right? Is he right? Or is everyone just lying with statistics and we're both right, but in different ways? I don't know, guys. Because I'm sure his information too is skewed, though. I think of that. I'm like, if I'm thinking my information is skewed, then his is probably too, because he's presenting something with a certain bias also and a certain agenda behind what he's saying, even if it's not intentional or direct. It still exists, and so the facts and stuff that he's getting are going to come from sources that will validate more of what he's saying, and it just gets into a blur of jargon and blah. So I guess I don't know. I need to figure out how I can first of all come to terms with the fact that, how do I want to put this? Come to terms with the fact there are different understandings of the world, and these are reflected through statistics and analysis, and that the more liberal and progressive understandings of society and the economy, etc., are not always correct, and are not, I kind of knew that, but not always reflective of reality, meaning something outside, meaning that those statistics and stuff also have a bias behind it as well. So that information I'm getting from these liberal sources also has that liberal bias, but so does what he's saying. And I also have to come to terms with that he has a certain message, and that is probably not completely honest in the presentation and in the delivery, even if it's not intentional. Again, he probably doesn't mean it to be, because he said, himself, he used to be a liberal person. He was a self-described community organizer. He was essentially the core liberal activist, but he's changed. I don't really fully understand the change, but that's okay. I guess I just need to realize that there's always going to be different understandings of the world. There's always going to be different information and facts to back up that understanding of the world. But to get the most clear understanding of the world, we really have to remove our own biases and prejudices and figure out how to look through the lens also of science and make sense of it, even with all of these biases behind it. So it's just very complicated. It's just kind of a mess. I'm still kind of struggling and just a little bit frustrated, I guess, just with myself too, for not being as perfect as Lee Doran, but he is 10 years older, so I do have some time, but alright, I rambled long enough. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.